And against better teams, they will most certainly need a lot more assistance.
100%. That record continues for Paula Griffin. Yeah, contact from Anna Thompson.
Great call from Bronwyn Meek. It's just seeing the shooter come in over the back of Katrina Grant.
Good to see Katrina Grant having a good game so far as well. We haven't seen her for 5 weeks. There would have been an element of pressure on her with Rachel Rasmussen playing so well. Yeah, lovely look from Elschwager. Pass wasn't accurate enough. Smith. Nice speed from the Tactix.
This good build-up down the court.
Mitchell, give her some confidence.
Well, Helen Stroud showing confidence in her to pick it up in this quarter. Charlotte Kite having a look at that outside intercept, which was exactly what her coach asked of her in the quarter break.
Milner Olsen doing some lovely work on the outside of the circle.
And a fabulous feed to the baseline.
Always making herself available.
I think for me that was one of the big improvements in the Mystics game, was that Milner Olsen and Lees were so much more patient about what they were putting into the circle. They weren't rushing and throwing big cross-court passes. And they're doing it again today.
Yeah, off the front. A coach once told me when a shooter hits the front of the ring, it means that they're having confidence issues.
And as a shooter, I'd say that's correct. It's when you're not sure how far you're going to push it.
Amabuizi cutting off that pass back to Marie Bowden. Lovely pass. Mitchell can't finish it.
And Katrina Grant, the taller player, getting possession. Time being called by Angela Mitchell. Possibly see Ellen Halpenny come on now.
Well, it will be interesting to see what happens here, whether she can continue on the game, pick herself back up, get herself back into this game, or whether the coach takes over and says, look, it's been good so far, but I want to pull you off. Maybe have a look in. Maybe we can introduce you a little bit later.
I think mentally when you take an injury break like this, I think that it shows that she's already out of the game. Helen Stroud, I think, would be a bigger gambler than I if she left her on, particularly when she's got Ellen Halpenny on the bench, who's been up and down, but has proven that she can pull out a good game every now and then.
Well, they need a big game this afternoon because the Central Pulse hanging in there. They are keeping that 5-goal lead that they came into this second quarter with. Paula Griffin being one of the standouts so far.
Here we see former Silver Ferns captain Julie Seymour.
Good to see a lot of supporters here cheering on the Central Pulse.
And there's been a change. Ellen Halpenny is on at goal shoot with Anna Thompson moving out to goal attack.
You know, the other thing I've got to say about that is if Angela Mitchell wasn't injured and she pulled that time because she didn't feel she was in the game, good on her for recognising it and saying, you know what, I'm down and out. I've got to get, if this team wants to win, we've got to change things up.
Absolutely.
Not many players
would do that.
Could admit to that, if that is in fact what happened.
Fantastic triangle play from the Pulse.
7 the difference. Nice reset from Milner Olsen. Goes back off the circle edge.
And a good pass and cut to follow it up. She's having a great game.
On the ball, goal defence, both out.
I actually think she's been playing well all season. She was benched for Dea Pritchard in a couple of games in the previous rounds, but she's been solid.
And while I like Camilla Lees at centre, this change of position for these two has certainly worked for this team.
Oh,
yeah, she was quick off the mark. And the ruling is that she has to stay there till the ball leaves their hands, and some defenders can get that ball.
Halpenny not happy on that first shot. Shooting percentage is letting the Tactix down at the moment. As you can see on screen there, 56% for the Tactix. Great defence again, the Tactix players taking the top of the circle, closing it off.
But the Pulse have also countered that really well with a shooter coming through the middle to draw those two outside defenders, so it opens up the pocket for the mid-quarters on the outside.
Marie Bowden gets away with that.
Yeah, Boise a little bit lazy, should I say, on that take though.
Just movement a little bit too early for Halpenny. Ball hadn't gotten to Finch's hands and she was already moving on it. Anna Thompson having to do the bulk of work.
Kushla Lichwak spinning out and driving down court before the call had been made.
And the woes continue.
So that's Anna Thompson's first miss of the game. Just taking a while to settle into this new combination.
Alschwager finds Milner Olsen at the top of the circle.
Oh, good work from Camilla Lee. She had to work hard to get to the top of the circle and then finding Paula Griffin on the baseline.
A 10-goal lead to the Pulse. We don't want to jinx them here, but it's looking good.
And they've had 6 more attempts. If you look at those statistics there, they've had 6 more attempts, so they're travelling very nicely at this stage of the game. Oh, and when the Tactix can't finish shots like that, it looks like their winning ways will continue.
Halpenny needs to just settle herself. It was a lovely move. They created a lot of space. Just needs to finish things off. Anna Thompson, thank goodness for her. Great pressure from the Tactix.
Great defence.
That's the first part. Now let's get it down to the circle.
And the Pulse applying a lot of pressure.
Just a good 3-foot mark.
And it's stopping the Tactix in their tracks.
Nice, Anna Thompson.
Anna Thompson doing it all this afternoon, finishing off the shots. Centre pass attack. Receives will be high as well.
There she goes. She's off the mark. And a nice pass from her wing attack and skipper, Marie Bowden.
Camilla Lee's finding space on the circle edge. The Pulse having to work this ball around. Victoria Smith and Charlotte Kite doing a lot of work inside.
There's a lot of pushing and shoving going on in there, as per usual in a shooting circle.
That 3-foot guard again. The great thing about Kushla Lichwak too is that she's a big wing defence. She's a good block, visual block.
And Olsen finds Lichwak looking for a big pass. No one. Lees comes